Trust me, I'll give you so many examples. I got an ATM card, a parcel from Dubai, Bank of Baroda. मैंने सोचा कि बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा में तो मेरा अकाउंट नहीं है, तो मैं पोस्टमैन को बोला नहीं नहीं लेके जाओ. बोला नहीं साहब आपका ही नाम है देखो. बोला हाँ मेरा नाम है. I opened the parcel. There was a ATM card of Bank of Baroda. There was a letter in it, and he said that I saw your talk when you were in Dubai. I did not meet you because I'm an introvert person, but I believe in your values. I believe in your mission, Make India Read. You're on a noble intention and you're an honest man. I'm sending you my ATM card with no upper limit. I know you'll use it for the right purpose, not for your selfish gains. And the last line gave me tears of joy. He said, I see Swami Vivekanand in t-shirt and jeans in you.
Excited for the session? How many of you made a resolve this year saying, I will read 24 books in 2024? Any one of you? Or I will read at least 10 pages. Yeah, I am also in that list. I'll read so and so number of pages every day because I have to complete so many books. I have to read so much. Anyone? Okay. You have. Even I have. So there are people. So today's session, you've come to the right hall. This session is going to talk about how to read fast. The session will be moderated by two amazing women that we have here with us. Our first moderator today is Asha Kamath ma'am. She is an unstoppable force. She started her second innings at the age of 40 as a supervisor at a garage. That garage was turned into a school named Sanskar Kindergarten. That was a part-time job that was convenient for her, but now she is the director of Sanskar Vidya Sagar Schools group. And this group now has 4 branches across Nagpur. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you for joining us today. Our next moderator is Sonali Gandhe. She is a teacher at Sanskar Vidya Sagar, KDK in Nandanwan. She loves to travel, she enjoys art and craft, and she will be moderating this session along with Asha ma'am today. Ma'am, welcome. Please join us. And now for the star of the session. So, popularly known as the booklet guy, Amrut Deshmukh is a self-proclaimed outdated chartered accountant. He is on a mission to cultivate the habit of reading amongst the youth of India. He reads almost 1 book a day and has read how many? 1800? More than 1800 books now, till now. Today he has 50 lakh young readers who are enthusiastically reading books with him on his free mobile app called The Booklet. Please join me to welcome the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, the booklet guy of India, Mr. Amrut Deshmukh. Before we begin the session today, I would request all of you to put your phones on silent mode or switch them off. If you absolutely must attend to a call, please move out. You can take the door and move out and attend the call so that you don't disturb the session in between. Ma'am, over to you, and Amrut, over to you as well.
Thank you. Am I audible? Thank you. Good morning, all of you. Good morning, Amrut.
Good morning.
A divine drink right in front of us. Now, to begin with, strong men. There is. Is it okay? Yes, it's okay. Right through this. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create lazy or weak men. And weak men create hard times. Over to you, Amrut. Now you tell me, you can describe your own time, your initial times.
Well, I was never an avid reader since childhood. In fact, I used to hate books. Same like you guys. I know. उन दिनों में रील्स वगैरह नहीं था. इनफैक्ट टिल 5th standard, I used to firmly believe that anonymous is a name of a famous poet.
Yes.
I can understand how naive reader I was. All thanks to my elder brother. My brother is 12 years elder to me, so more of a fatherly figure and less of a fighter sibling. जो भाई बहन में जो लड़ाई झगड़े होते वो हमें कभी हुए नहीं, because he was so much elder to me. So he used to play a secret trick on my birthdays. He used to warn my friends without my knowledge. He used to call them and their parents that nobody will get toys, subsidies and Legos and fancy dresses and board games as birthday gifts. If at all I want to gift something to Amrut, gift him only books. So in short, I never enjoyed my birthdays. Surrounded with books, no toys to play. No, for the first time I got introduced to Harry Potter, Tenali Raman, Akbar Birbal, Vikram Vetal, Alice in Wonderland, Snow White, Robin Hood, Shamchi Ai, Rabindranath Tagore's short stories, Akbar Birbal. And I fell in love with stories. I won't claim that I became an avid reader, but as kids we love fantasy, beautiful pictures, big font text, right? I think the turning point came after my 10th exam. My brother again came to me with a serious face, and he was holding something behind his back. And he said, Amrut, you should start reading non-fiction. That's the tagline of our festival. I love the tagline, non-fiction in action, wow. And I innocently asked him, what is non-fiction? Because as a child, I thought books means only stories and fantasy and fiction. He said, no. There are thousands of books out there which may not have stories in them, but you get to learn a lot from these books. And I innocently asked him then, what was I doing for the last 10 years in school? I was learning. Why learn again? And what he said blew my mind. He said, these things may not be taught in schools and colleges. I said, what? ऐसा भी होता है? मतलब school, knowledge का मंदिर and all. I believe that everything is taught in schools. And he gifted me my first self-help book of my life, or non-fiction book of my life, which was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Have you heard about it? Read? Yeah? And I read it in 2 days. I was so glued to that book. And I had developed some wrong conceptions about money. That these Bill Gates and Shah Rukh Khans, their brain is wired differently and hence they are rich. My brain is normally wired, so मैं तो अमीर नहीं हूँगा. I went to the school, fought with my principal, I fought with my parents. For last 10 years of education, you did not even discuss about money. Forget about the deep concepts of passive income and active income that Robert Kiyosaki talks, right? And I realized that I have missed something big. Yes, formal education is important, going to school is important, but that is not complete. I literally created my personal syllabus, my personal curriculum. I selected 100 best-selling self-help books of the world. Ikigai, 5 AM Club, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, Who Moved My Cheese. Or have you heard about this book called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie? If you haven't read this book, I would say you have committed a sin. अपने पाप किया है लाइफ में. It's a must read at least once in your lifetime. It's my Bible. Yeah. And made a list of 100 such books and started reading madly. So for last 4-5 years, I have been reading one book a day. I read one book a day at least. Okay, so her resolution is 24 books a year. And so fortunately, I have increased my reading speed. So normal reading speed of most of the people is 150 to 200 words per minute. I have increased to 1,200 words per minute. So one book a day. I mean, एक बार नहाऊंगा नहीं, लेकिन एक book पढ़ूंगा.
नहीं, बात ये है कि I have come across people who read one book a day. I mean, there are Sohail Seth, for example, like he cannot have his good night's sleep without reading one complete book a day. So, but then how does it make a difference of being a normal reader or an avid reader and a fastest reader? Like we have heard of an avid, voracious reader, avid reader, all this we have heard. But how are you different than these? Because you are termed as a fastest reader. So how would you define that? Like how do you read so fast? Have you developed that skill? Or there's one particular skill where you had to develop yourself? Or you wanted to do that? How did you get into the term of being the fastest reader?
See, speed reading has two parts. One is changing your approach towards reading, and second is the technique of increasing your reading speed. We'll talk in detail about that later. First, let us try to change the approach towards reading.
Yes.
The unwanted rules which have been put in our heads through our parents or teachers or I don't know who. Unless you don't complete the previous book, don't take the next one. Okay, you leaving book half read is a sin. Yeah, I don't know कहाँ से ये rules आए हैं. Yeah, I mean when you watch a video on YouTube, within first 10 seconds you take a call whether it is worth watching or not, or else you just get lost. This is a very boring. Yes or no?
True.
But when it comes to books, that you all know Harari's Sapiens, my friend recommended me that book. She loved it, but I'm not able to enjoy it. Something is bad with me. Why? When Thugs of Hindustan, I took my friends to watch Thugs of Hindustan in the theater. Aaj tak gaaliyan khata hu. We left the movie in the interval. That time we don't say, oh, I insulted Amir Khan. I'm a bad movie watcher. We don't say these things, right? Because we transfer the onus to entertain us on those directors and actors and creators. But when it comes to books, we take all the blame. Are you getting my point? Why? Don't you think it is also the responsibility of the author to keep you engaged, to keep you excited? It's not all your fault. My intention is not to insult the authors, okay? But writing is also an art, right?
Exactly.
My intention is to remove the guilt from your mind that there is nothing called good reader or bad reader. There is only reader and non-reader. I have left hundreds of books half read and I don't feel guilty about it. Because even if I quit the book, I don't quit reading. Now you get my point.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't count those books in my total number of books that I've read. I've read 1,856 books till now, but not counting the half-read books or the books which did not excite me. This is one part, which is habit number 1 in my book, and it's very paradoxical. Habit number 1 so my book name is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Readers, not written by Stephen Covey, written by me. As a tribute to my favorite author, I changed the title. Habit number 1 says, don't take reading too seriously. The key word is too. Are you getting me? Because if something is important to you, don't make it special, make it casual. Because habits are casual. Asha, you take any of your daily habit, chatting on WhatsApp, watching YouTube music, gossiping, they all are so casual and hence habitual. Something which is habitual is usually casual. It's a virtuous circle. So,
but at times you have to put in effort to cultivate that habit. When you're saying that this should be a habit. So to inculcate that habit, what measures do we have to take?
Exactly.
Like specifically when we are talking about reading, most of us students we have seen, they don't feel like reading. Am I right? How many of you all find it difficult to pick up a book without your curriculum, like which is not a part of your curriculum, to pick it up and read? Tell me, how many of you all genuinely do it? Raise your hands who really genuinely read. Only handful? So they have to really put in effort to begin with the reading. I'm talking apart from your curriculum. So how do they cultivate that habit?
got it.
That is of prime importance.
Absolutely agreed with you that reading requires willpower. Although it is not a physical activity, it requires willpower. Watching Nura Fateh's dance video does not require any willpower. Right? Watching stand-up comedy doesn't require any willpower. Now, let's try to understand the science of our brain, how it works. Our brain hates huge, humongous, big tasks. Like reading, if I ask this boy to do 100 push-ups, 1,000 rope jumps, 10-kilometer running, and 50 pull-ups, the first reaction will be, "Arey baap re, main kal aata hu." Right?
That's
Exactly. Our brain hates humongous tasks. If I ask this girl to make a PowerPoint of 20 slides, oh my God, will be the first reaction, right?
I mean, if the task is given to her.
Now, but our brain loves small, stupid-looking, tiny activities of not more than 5 minutes. From where do you get the willpower to share that joke on WhatsApp? From where do you get the willpower to like a video? From where do you get the willpower to put a comment on Instagram? No, they don't require any willpower because they are stupid, tiny 1 minute tasks. So what we have to do
Spontaneity.
is, the
Being
moment now your book is of like Shivaji, right? I've read this book. Now this book is like must be 250, 300 pages. The moment I ask you to read is, or a bopre, 300 pages. But at a time, you are not going to read more than 1 page. So you have to break down these big tasks into tiny, stupid-looking activities of not more than 5 minutes. I'll ask him to do 2 push-ups. क्या बोलेगा तू? अरे अभी मार लूंगा. Yeah, 1 slide. Got it? No, my target when I open a new book, how many pages? I end up reading 1 book a day, but my target is 2 pages. I convince myself I'm not going to read more than 2 pages today, and I at least get started. And getting started is half the battle won. Law of inertia. You know what is law of inertia? सो रहे तो उठने का मन नहीं करता है और जाग रहे तो सोने का मन नहीं करता. We love to be in the state, in the flow in which we are. And interestingly, can never stop at page number 2. After doing those 2 push-ups, he will automatically be motivated to do the 3rd push-up. She'll be automatically motivated to work on the 2nd slide. So motivation comes later. It is first action. We think motivation leads to action. Action leads to motivation. Okay, so cut down the big task into stupid, tiny looking activities. And trust me, you'll end up reading 300, 400 pages.
Yeah. Now the next, I mean, it's not a question, it's just a comment I would like to, because I don't think so. We are in the shoes to even question you. But the fact is, like, you have taken this now. When did you decide that, you are going to take this as, now this is your profession. Come to think of it. You are generating revenue out of this, aren't you?
Money doesn't excite me anymore. I've made a lot of money in my life, and it's a social startup. So, not revenue as such, people help me out voluntarily.
No, I'm just telling you, simultaneously, are you working on something else, or this is the only thing you're doing?
There is nothing part-time in life.
Obviously, this you're focused on this.
100%.
Right. So, have you done anything else apart from this? As a profession, are you, like, have you qualified for something? Did you always make up your mind that this is what I'm going to achieve and this is what I'm going to work towards?
No, in fact.
So what was the
So since childhood, I got your point. I got your point that you want the message. So my dreams kept on changing since childhood. Like any other child, I wanted to be the best tabla player in the world. And then I quit after 3 exams. I wanted to win a gold medal in table tennis in the Olympics and never went beyond district level. Suddenly I wanted to join army. वो भी नहीं हुआ. Then I became a chartered accountant, fortunately. वो भी मैंने क्यों किया, I don't know.
So you're professionally a chartered accountant?
I'm a chartered accountant, qualified chartered accountant. But the why of my life was not clear. क्यों किया? But I think why I did CA was, Asha, I think, so my dad is a farmer. And interestingly, he had many CA friends. And मैंने देखा कि मेरे डैड के जितने भी फ्रेंड्स CA ना, उनकी बीवियाँ बहुत सुंदर थी. तो मुझे लगता था कि शायद ना CA करने से सुंदर बीवी मिलती है. Now don't please ask me the next obvious question. I'm married to books. I'm happy. I'm single. So I'm a CA. And then I tried 3 startups. After CA, I got into stock market, learned it, made a lot of money. My last round salary was 2.5 lakh rupees a month. And that was my side income. I was making more money from stock market by investing my own money. And then after having a lot of savings, I tried my 4th startup. It failed. I tried a 2nd startup. That too failed. I tried a 3rd startup. And guess what happened this time? It failed. So with 3 failed startups on my LinkedIn profile, I'll take a while to explain this because it's the most vital part of my life. 3 failed startups on my LinkedIn profile. And because of that 1 failed relationship on my Facebook profile, वो भी छोड़ के गई. Empty pockets, 70% of my life savings were wiped out. Things became so bad, I went into chronic depression. And one day I decided I will not see the next day's rising sun. That was supposed to be the last day of my life. I still remember, it was 8 o'clock in the evening. I was all alone at home in the living room, sitting on the sofa. And I decided that should be the last day of my life. And to get the things required to hang myself, I got up from the sofa. I walked 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, और घर के लाइट चले गए. तो अभी क्या करेंगे? अंधेरे में कैसे ढूंढेंगे, रोज रोज तो हम मरते नहीं है. तो वापस बैठ गया सोफा पे. And I remembered the words of my elder brother again. And as I said, because of him, I started reading. In my childhood days, he used to say that, Amrut, whenever you are stuck up with the question, what next, read random. Read random. तो मैंने बोला ठीक है चलो जिंदगी की आखिरी किताब पढ़ लेते, भाई बोलता था. So there was some book lying on the right side of the sofa. I picked it up. I switched on the flashlight of my mobile because it was dark. And I started reading. It was Krishna and Balram going through a forest. So Krishna says, you know Balram is the elder brother of Krishna. So Krishna says, look, now it is getting dark. So I'll go to sleep, but you keep a guard on us. Once you get tired, we'll switch the roles because it's a risky area. कुछ जंगली जानवर आ सकते हैं. And Krishna goes to sleep. And Balram is walking to and fro. A monster comes and yells at Balram. Balram gets scared and the monster grows bigger in size and Balram shrinks in size. तो उसको मजा आने लगता है. He yells. Balram gets scared and he shrinks to such an extent he's so scared he screams Krishna and faints down on the ground. Now Krishna mistook that my elder brother has called my name and it is my turn to do the patrolling. उसको ये सब पता नहीं था कि क्या हो गया. उसको लगा कि मेरा भाई अभी रेस्ट कर रहा है. So this time Krishna starts walking, does his duty. The same monster looks at a new face and he yells at Krishna. And Krishna calmly says, why are you shouting? क्या चाहिए? Without any fear. And that gives a big setback to the monster. And this time, something different happens. The monster shrinks in size and Krishna grows bigger. He again yells, Krishna, क्या चाहिए? क्यों चिल्ला रहा है? भूख लगी है क्या? स्विगी से कुछ मंगाओ क्या? I mean, this was not part of the story. वो मैंने घुसाया. And the monster shrinks to a tiny nut size. Krishna picks him up, ties a knot to his dhoti and goes to sleep. The next morning, both the brothers resume the journey and Balram says, yesterday monster had almost killed me. He was so huge. And Krishna says, wait. Are you talking about him? ये तुझे मारने वाला था? ये चीटी वाला size? And he says, yes, but how come he's so small? He was huge last night. And the epic message goes, you know the stories from Gita Mahabharat. Ved Vyas, the writer, wanted to say that face what you must face. The monster was just a metaphor of the problems and challenges of our life. My monster was a failed entrepreneur, a failed partner.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And I was ignoring, I was escaping from those problems, try to avoid those problems. And when you try to avoid those problems, that problem will become bigger than you and that problem will gain control over you, like it happened in case of Balram. But if you face what you must face, you become bigger than the problem and you gain control over it. And these lines flashed like Akashvani in that dark living room. That bad, ugly thought of killing myself never came back in my mind. It lasted for 1 full minute. मुझे पता है क्या फटती है जब सामने death है ना. I think only me and Sushant Singh Rajput knows this. He took that step. I did not, thanks to a book that saved my life.
Huge round of applause. Very inspiring. Very inspiring.
And also thanks Maharashtra Electricity Board. उस दिन अगर लाइट नहीं जाती तो कोई और गेस्ट यहाँ पे बैठता आज.
So, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, relating like you are telling us to conquer all of our fears, isn't that? And
Finding reasons for not doing it.
yes.
Finding reasons for not doing it.
And when you feel like that you are somewhere not able to do that, have a talk with your nearest one. Maybe his nearest was his book, which took him out of that phase, and we have him here. And now I would like to go ahead with one more question, is like, why are you called or why are you termed as the booklet guy?
Yeah, booklet guy मतलब English वाला guy है. So, when this incident happened, I realized that there is some divine intervention. Why books are entering into my life again and again? Or abhi to book has given me a bonus life, right? And in my childhood days, it was forced on me. I thought something, my books are, there is some inner calling that I have to do something around my books. but not sure what I was passionate about. But one thing was very clear after reading so many biographies of great world leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekanand, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Dr. Kalam's Wings of Fire. I realized I found the answer why I failed in my 3 previous startups. It was the question I asked myself whenever I started a new venture. And the question was, what's in it for me? My money, my progress, my wealth, my profits, my happiness, my goals, my bank balance. It was always selfish, me. And these great people are talking exactly the opposite. Servant leadership, it sounded like an oxymoron. Gandhiji said in one of his books, Hind Swaraj, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. मुझे तो पहले समझा ही नहीं है क्या बोल रहे. And I was doing exactly the opposite. And gradually there was a paradigm shift in my mindset from what's in it for me to what can I give. Luckily, after that, my suicide attempt, I got a call from, after a few days, I got a call from a CA friend. He was observing me depressed. दाढ़ी बढ़ा के ऐसे देवदास की तरह उस लड़की का नाम ले रहा है, startups fail हुए, उसके बारे में रो रहा है. I was in very bad shape mentally. So just to help me out of, to pull me out of depression, he said, एक पिक्चर आई बाहुबली, बहुत अच्छी है, कुछ अलग है, चल देखने जाते. तो मैं बोला पागल है क्या, इधर लगी पड़ी है लाइफ की, 3 स्टार्टअप्स फेल हो गए, वो भी मुझे छोड़ के गई और तुझे पिक्चर की पड़ी है, गेट लॉस्ट, आई एम नॉट कमिंग. And he said, Amrut, don't worry, I'll buy the tickets for you. I said, okay, I'm coming in 5 minutes. Once a CA, always a CA. So we reached the movie theater 15 minutes before the show time. So क्या करेंगे time pass? So I was reading a book that week, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Again, a bestseller and broken world record in number of copies sold in self-help genre. And I narrated him those 7 habits, in 15 minutes. With my own personal examples, doing away with the author's language. I just understood the concepts and expressed in my own words. He was so impressed by my narration. He said, Amrut, you have a hidden teacher within you. The way you explained the 7 habits, I felt I read the book without touching it. You're a great explainer. Can you please help me to cultivate reading habit? I know you read a lot because of your bade bhaiya. I said, how can I help you? तुम्हारी आंखें, तुम्हारा time. At the most, मैं मेरी books तुमको पढ़ने दूंगा. बोला कि नहीं. How do you remember all those 7 habits? I said, I have a habit of scribbling. I have loads of diaries where I have written all those summaries, bullet points of all the books that I have read till now. I said, what? ऐसा भी करता है? मतलब academic books का सुना है तो non-academic books भी करता है? हाँ, मुझे अच्छा लगता है. तो तू एक काम कर, आइंदा से तू जो भी लिखेगा ना डायरी में, कुछ भी स्क्रिबल करेगा, उसका फोटो मुझे व्हाट्सएप पे भेजा कर, so that your reading habit can benefit me. And this was the second Akashvani of my life. The first, the message from Gita, and this line that I love reading. और अगर वो करते करते अगर मेरे दोस्त का फायदा होगा, तो it's a perfect win-win. And win-win was one of the habits in 7 habits, creating a win-win situation. And Mark Twain has said in one of his books, the 2 most important days of your life. First, the day on which you were born. And second, the day on which you come to know why you were born. Perhaps for me, that second day was the Bahubali Theatre day, where I found the why of my life. To read for others, to read for India. And that's where Booklet Guy was born. Yeah, where he reads for India, he reads for others. Everybody reads for oneself. But how about reading for others? I'll be all the more motivated. So I decided to, summarize these great books, Chanakya Niti, Who Moved My Cheese, 20-minute summaries in text and audio. And today, people lovingly call me as Booklet Guy.
That's great.
Great achievement.
Okay. So, Amrut, can you tell us about your app?
Yeah. So I'll just move with the same story and land up how the app came into existence. Yeah.
Before you proceed, just one suggestion to all the kids, the importance of reading, or you have already narrated, but yes, I would like you to tell them how to begin reading. Because
Okay.
most of them, they don't have inclination towards that. So if you can just make some suggestions that how they step into the reading world.
All right. See, as I said, that no, if something is important to you, don't make it special, make it casual. Thanks for asking this question because that's my habit number 2 from my book, which is fill in the time pockets. Okay. See, if you keep doing the same things that you have been doing till now, you will get the same results that you got till now. If you want something that you have never got, you have to do something that you never did. Expecting something extraordinary result without making any changes in your daily routine is a fool's game. Your success lies in your daily routine. Your success is not one massive stroke of genius one day and you become successful overnight. No, your success lies in your daily routine. Even today in the hotel room, I woke up at 5:30. I did my workout for 1.5 hours. I did my meditation. I did my yoga. I read for 1 hour. I had my breakfast and I'm here.
The discipline. Just listen to the discipline that he follows. Yesterday when he landed and he reached the hotel, the first thing he asked was, is there a gym here? For one day, like we have these habits, like let me skip my gymming today. But no, the first thing that he asked was, do you have a gym here? So that is the routine that he follows rigidly. That has to be admired. That has to be kept in mind. You can proceed.
And I was the only person in the gym, hotel gym today. And I'm the only person being asked questions here. This is not a coincidence. Are you getting my point?
I know. I understand.
It's the character and not personality. What you are looking at me right now in good shape is my personality. Character is what you do when nobody is watching you. The decision that I took in the morning when you guys were not watching me, I had a choice to wake up at 8 o'clock, scroll those Instagram reels, or push my butt, even if it's so cold outside, push my butt out at 5 o'clock, go to the gym, even if my mind was resisting कि नहीं यार, AC बंद करके ना चद्दर ओढ़ के सो लेते हैं और snooze करते हैं. Right? No, I said no. If I want to talk with a lot of conviction in these front of kids, I should be practicing and not preaching. Preaching doesn't work. Practice. Be the change you wish to see in others. Right? So don't work on personalities. Personality is just a byproduct of your great character. Got it? Once I'm done and go to the hotel room back, I have a choice when nobody is watching me to flirt with a girl on WhatsApp or read 4 pages from the book that I'm carrying in my bag.
So reading 4 pages, or you yesterday you had spoken about the way you had decided, like, compulsory like 2 pages and you put a timer on.
Yeah, it's 2 pages. Doesn't matter.
You begin with that.
Yeah.
So that is what? You take a book which is not into your curriculum. Decide that 2 pages every day, initially. Put a timer, that time to read. And that is how you begin.
2 pages? I mean, come on. I mean, it's just a blink of an eye and you will just get... And initially, you stop at page number 2. Don't, even if you feel going beyond to page number 2, don't do it. Because if you end up reading 10 pages, कल हमारे आपके दिमाग में क्या आएगा मालूम है? कल मैंने 10 पढ़ लिया ना तो आज नहीं पढ़ूंगा. Are you getting my point? कि मैंने कुछ ज़्यादा एक्स्ट्रा किया. So get started with small. एक बुक में मैंने पढ़ा, one guy. So you will start identifying yourself as a reader. Now how much you read doesn't matter. At least you are reading. So a person in one of the books called $1 Million Habits, a person wanted to cultivate his gym habit. He just went to the gym and came back. Did not exercise. But at least he got used to the schedule. अभी जा रहा हूँ जिम में तो थोड़ा कुछ हाथ पैर हिला के आता हूँ. Sounds stupid initially कि जाके आने में क्या फायदा है. But at least he started identifying himself as a fitness guy now. And he ended up working out. Right? So, no, there is a power in small thinking. There's a wonderful book called The Spirit of Kaizen. Kaizen is small incremental improvements in your life. But these small things are not glamorous. They are not Instagrammable, right? I read 2 pages. Instagram पे डालने में मजा नहीं आएगा. Right? But there is a power of thinking small.
So, target-based everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me drift you from this. And my next question is like, what inspired you to start the mission called as Make India Read? Can you share a bit about the personal experience that led you to believe in the transformation?
Sure. So I think that the incident that I shared with you guys about my attempt to end my life. That was the biggest, that's a bonus life. So this time it was not about money. It was about, infecting the youth of India through for reading habit. And my competition is not with books. I never claim that my book summaries are a substitute for books. That will be a big insult of the authors. Book summary is just a stupid excuse to keep books relevant in your daily routine. Our main war is against unproductive time. Nowadays, the problem is the amount of unproductive time has increased. Do you agree? Any idle time, any boredom, invariably वो जेब में हाथ जाता है और कैसे बाहर आता है वो समझ में नहीं आता है. And our fingers start dancing, right? Every idle time is filled up with aimless browsing. Either its apps might differ, WhatsApp hoga, YouTube hoga, Instagram, whatever it is. So our competition with these guys. So if I could borrow 5 minutes of these kids from Instagram and they spend 5 minutes and read 2 pages, I'll declare mission accomplished. So I'll come to your question, how it landed. So the movie started, as I told you, after the discussion outside the movie theater. The movie started, my friend forgot this comment because for him it was a passing comment. For me, it was a life-changing event. I found this blockbuster movie, Bahubali, utter nonsense and boring. Just because of my altered state of mind, I was excited about something else now. वो क्या वो सफ़ेद साड़ी में उड़ रही है, वो बॉडी बिल्डर उड़ रहा है, वो पहाड़ों में, no gravity, nothing. I was desperately waiting for the interval to happen. Because I had a fear, ideas तो आते हैं मन में. People say that ideas change the world. No. I read this from a book called College to Startup by Venkatesh Yadav. And one of the index name was Ideas are useless. So ठीक है पागल है क्या बोल रहा है? पूरा Shark Tank चला ideas पे. And he says ideas are useless. So I directly jumped to chapter number 4 and read that chapter in detail. And he says ideas don't change the world. Execution of ideas change the world. Varna, thousands of ideas come to our mind on toilet seat every day. How many of us work on those ideas once we are out of the toilet? That is important. So I had this fear, if I don't execute this idea within 1 week, the excitement will fade away and we wapas wahi, naukri and boredom. So I was waiting for the interval, light जल गए. मेरे दोस्त की बाइक की चाबी मेरे जेब में थी. तो मैंने उसको झूठ बोला कि मुझे जोर से जाने का है टॉयलेट और उसकी बाइक लेके भाग गया. I did not inform him. And I spent a sleepless night on the internet checking, is somebody doing such summaries, 20-minute summaries of non-academic books, non-fiction books, which are not part of our school and college syllabus. Nobody was doing it. I said, I will do it. और वहाँ से चक्र शुरू हुआ कि if you take any field, there is an expert face that pops up. Who is the best chef of India? Sanjeev Kapoor. तुरंत आ गया दिमाग में. Who is the best writer of India? Chetan Bhagat, Ashwin Sanghi, there are many. Then I asked myself, who is the reader of India? And there was no face. I said, I'll become that face. Who reads for others, who reads for India.
That's great. That's great.
This is what we'll term as absolute his brainchild. This is absolutely your brainchild. I mean, this is how you have given birth to your own idea. Nobody else, you have not followed somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely your own invention, your own brainchild.
But Asha, tell me, do you really think book summary is a great innovation? It's a mediocre idea, right? I mean, it's not like Elon Musk having space tourism and driverless cars. It's a mediocre idea. It's not innovative. It's just that, if this boy says, "Acha, tu kal aaya nahi kya school? तो तेरा तो lecture सब डूब गया है, तो I have the notes. I can share the notes with you." That's what I'm doing. I'm sharing my notes. I added some compassion.
Yeah, but nobody else was
given
doing
for
it.
free. Yeah, fine, but nothing big in it. It was about the change in my mindset, about giving and not taking. Giving without expecting anything in return. And that's the reason why probably I'm sitting in this chair right now.
So the change in the attitude, you mean?
Yes. And then money is coming to me as a byproduct. Trust me, I'll give you so many examples. I got an ATM card, a parcel from Dubai, Bank of Baroda. मैंने सोचा कि बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा में तो मेरा अकाउंट नहीं है, तो मैं पोस्टमैन को बोला नहीं लेके जाओ. बोला नहीं साहब आपका ही नाम है देखो. बोला हाँ मेरा नाम है. I opened the parcel. There was a ATM card of Bank of Baroda. There was a letter in it. And he said that I saw your talk when you were in Dubai. I did not meet you because I'm an introvert person, but I believe in your values. I believe in your mission, Make India Read. You're on a noble intention and you're an honest man. I'm sending you my ATM card with no upper limit. I know you'll use it for the right purpose, not for your selfish gains. And the last line gave me tears of joy. He said, I see Swami Vivekanand in t-shirt and jeans in you. So as you said,
What more are you
now,
asking for?
Now will you call it as revenue model? Come on. No, right? I think humility, compassion, honesty, these are the things you have to stick to. ये SEO and funnel, ये सब ठीक है. That, I'm not saying they are important, not important. But no, those basic values which were taught to us in Balbhati text really work as marketing tools, but calling them as marketing tools will be a big insult, right?
We have been asked to get into the interaction from the students and the audience.
Sure. Any questions?
Honestly,
Yes.
I'm telling you, I had come with prepared questions, the real rehearsed and re-rehearsed questions, which I put aside and preferred to be as spontaneous as possible. Because this was something mind-blowing and something very close to all of us. So it was very easy for us, both of us, for that matter, to keep asking, commenting on what he had to say. Thank you so much for being here. And I would request, yes. Introduce yourself first.
Good morning, sir. This is Harsh Subhash Jain from Sanskar Vidyasagar.
Don't call me sir, call me Amrut.
Okay. Sir, my question is, for example, if you read a book, so for how long are you able to retain the knowledge that you have read?
After reading the book.
Yes.
Thanks, Harsh. You can sit down. Yeah, I'll come to you. Thanks for asking this. Again, my habit number 3. So how to remember what you read? This is what precisely you wanted to ask. I see many boys and girls, young, especially girls, when they want to read a book, so they will take, before taking a book, they will take pencil, pen, that too of 3 colors.
Highlighters.
Blue, black, red, फिर scale, अभी नया आया highlighters, fluorescent green highlighter, fluorescent orange highlighter, इतने सब weapons लेके they will start reading and they will highlight so much on each page that the non-highlighted part looks like highlighted. So you don't remember by decorating a book. If you say that underlining and highlighting will help me to remember, it's like saying, I learned the recipe of a new dish by garnishing it with coriander. No, you have just decorated the dish, okay? So best way to remember what you read is to read and discuss. That's my habit number 4, read and discuss. Discuss what? Not the summary, not the review, not the critical appraisal of the author. वो तो बिल्कुल नहीं. One big idea that excited you, that shattered your mind, that forced you to replace your old beliefs with new ones, old assumptions with new ones. Or a story from that book. You never remember philosophies and concepts. See, when I borrow books now, which are already read by my friends, I see the underline. Underline भी गलत तरीके से करते. They underline the quotes. They underline the philosophical messages. No, that's the wrong way. No, nobody underlines or brackets the stories. By story, I do not mean once upon a time एक राजा था. No, an anecdote, illustration, experiments, no small metaphors, analogies. Through these things, you remember the concepts. Teachers know it very well, how they use metaphors to introduce a new piece of knowledge. Metaphor is connecting a new piece of knowledge to an existing piece of knowledge, so that it's easier to learn. So, Harsh, as I said, read and discuss. Reading is not just sitting in the chair and being with a book. That is one part of reading. For me, 90% remaining part of reading is to bring those ideas from out of the book and share it with your friends in your own personal, broken, desi vocabulary. Not the author's language. Words are not important. Words are just messengers. The message lies in the meaning, in the concept. Right? Now, for example, I say this table is crowded. Sonali might say this table is cluttered. Same meaning, different expression. Right? So, what do you think? Knowledge is consumption or reproduction? I think reproduction. Once you are able to reproduce it in your own personal language and the other person understands it, that means you have understood. Exam is all about that.
No, sometimes what happens when you're reading something, some non-fiction for that matter, you feel like savoring what you have read. What you do is you keep the book aside, you keep thinking about that, and then probably you start reading again. So, not necessarily that you're discussing with somebody, but then, whatever you have read, you feel like, retaining it for a longer time, feeling it for a longer time, and, savoring it for a longer time.
So, problem क्या है मैम? ये जो आप बोल रहे हैं ना, savoring, retaining, उस चक्कर में ना हाथ में ये आ जाता है. तो गया वो savoring, favoring, सब गया. That's the problem. See,
that's very true.
Okay, so it's by increasing focus do not mean increasing your concentration, but keeping away these attractive distractions.
Exactly.
They're extremely attractive. And I'm not blaming you guys, okay? I'm part of the problem. Okay, I get attracted to the ting, tung, tang, notifications, and I love Kapil Sharma's stand-up comedy. I love him. Yeah. So what I do is, when I'm reading a book, I block myself for 20 minutes, okay? Keep the mobile on silent mode, 2 rooms away from my reading room, block it for 20 minutes, फिर वो भूकंप आया, अकाल आया, कुछ भी आए, I'll block those 20 minutes, then take a micro break, go to that room, take my mobile, check my missed calls or the messages, reply to them, again keep it there, and then come back and block for 20 minutes. You have to cut those distractions at the very source, like TDS. सामने गुलाब जामुन रखा है और खाओगे नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा, उसको निकालो. That's why I removed my TV from my house and replaced them with 4,000 books. Because I was hooked. I was watching Kapil Sharma for 4 hours. नहीं होगा वो दोनों. See, now the problem is, एक ही प्लेट में ब्रोकोली रखा है और चॉकलेट आइसक्रीम रखा है. That's what mobile is all about. There are good apps and there are unproductive apps. और मेरा काम है रोज आपसे वो आपका ध्यान चॉकलेट आइसक्रीम से निकालना है और ब्रोकोली आपको खिलाना है. बाप रे, इट्स वेरी टफ. The silicon guys are very smart. They spend millions of dollars to find out that psychological hack which will hypnotize you to attract your attention and disturb you in your focus task. But at the same time, it is equally easy to hack back them. There is one simple button in our mobile called disable the notifications. Do you know this? Notification is like if nuclear bomb was the worst invention of humans in history for mass destruction, then notification is the worst invention in human history for mass distraction. And एक बटन वो ऑफ करो और सब नोटिफिकेशन ऑफ होंगे. I don't mind if you switch off the notification of my booklet app as well. I don't mind it. Because it's not about the amount of time that you spend on WhatsApp. शायद मैं उतना ही टाइम स्पेंड करता हूँ इंस्टाग्राम पे जितना आप कर रहे हो, बट इट इज अ टाइमिंग. लाइक व्हाइल यू आर रीडिंग और मोबाइल बाजू पे रख के आप रीड करना कोशिश करो, या जो भी काम आपका है, एक्सेल शीट है, पावर पॉइंट है, एंड कीपिंग द मोबाइल बिसाइड यू और इन योर पॉकेट व्हाइल फोकसिंग ऑन योर टास्क इज इनविटेशन टू अनहैप्पीनेस. दैट मल्टीटास्किंग, अच्छा पढ़ रहा हूँ, अच्छा हाय आ गया क्या, चलो रिप्लाई कर, अच्छा नीचे कोई जोक आया वो भी देख लिया, अरे नीचे कोई वीडियो आया वो भी देख लिया. और वो 1 मिनट का हाय के रिप्लाई के चक्कर में वो 20 मिनट कैसे जाते समझ में नहीं आता है. एंड द मेन टास्क बिकम अ साइड टास्क एंड द साइड टास्क बिकम द मेन टास्क. होता है ना? दिस इज नॉट, एंड वी फील स्टूपिड कि क्या पागल हूं मैं, कितना टाइम वेस्ट किया. नो, यू आर नॉट स्टूपिड, दे आर टू स्मार्ट. दे हैव कम आउट. नाउ इफ आई एम चैटिंग विद आशा ऑन व्हाट्सएप एंड ऊपर आता ना आशा टाइपिंग, what is the need of writing that Asha typing? If I'm chatting with Asha, I know I'm chatting with Asha. But the fact that they say Asha typing ... Now if I don't get a reply from her, होगा ही नहीं कि मैं मोबाइल छोड़ूंगा. I will wait for a reply, right? They have studied all those tiny.
We have just time for one more question.
Oh.
Who wants to put up?
That's the problem of reading too many books.
We have one very young reader in the back. I would like to.
Oh wow.
Amrut sir, so I read your 7 habits of efficient reading.
Yeah.
And I liked it. So, what is the can you give some few tips about fast reading?
Sure. Yeah, that's the main
In
topic.
fact, yeah, I would like you to read in front of
the
her.
demonstration,
So demonstration
as well.
has to be there.
So I'll tell you the science behind. Sure. Got it. Same question. So see, as I said, words are not important. Words are just the messengers. The message is in the meaning, in the concept. I'll take you back 10,000 years ago when written text was invented for the first time. Suppose I wanted to convey tiger to Sonali. So I would have drawn a crude picture of tiger on sand and tried to convey a tiger. Then we realized that drawing a tiger takes a lot of time and space. So we came out with symbols. Symbols which in turn will represent the word tiger. T-I-G. I am calling them as symbols and not as a word. Because now we यहाँ पे सब problem हो गया. Because our brain is naturally wired to see pictures. That's why we get hooked to movies. Movie, the full form of movie is moving images. How many of you get bored while watching a great movie like Bahubali? Nobody. But we doze off after reading 5 pages? That's because looking at those black symbols is not natural to our brain. What is natural is imagination, seeing, observing, watching. Now, the best part of this is our subconscious mind doesn't understand the difference between a real tiger, a tiger on the TV, and the tiger that you paint on your mental canvas as part of your imagination. They all are same. That stupid our subconscious mind is. उसका हमको फायदा लेना है. तो करना क्या है? Now suppose we are reading a sentence from this book. Okay, suppose the book में है लिखा है तो the tiger is running. Okay, now what we say? We read the tiger is running. अलग अलग हमको सिखाया गया है ना? ऐसा नहीं करना है. For me, they are not different words. That is one meaningful phrase. So these 4 words are one word for me. In fact, it's a one picture. So honestly, I don't read. I see movies. I skip the extra process that we have inserted by looking at those boring black symbols on the white paper. उसको नहीं देखता हूँ मैं. I ignore it. And I actually imagine the meaning of that meaningful phrase. Are you getting my point? Yes. See, I am talking to Asha is the line in the book. Let's demonstrate. Now, हम क्या बोलते हैं? I. Now this I word in isolation, although has a meaning, it doesn't have a great meaning, a bigger meaning. But I am talking is a meaningful phrase and has a bigger meaning. Can you visualize it? Right. And club with another phrase, to Asha, and suddenly the big picture is complete. Now, by the time the other person is reading one word at a time, I am talking. I have already seen the picture as a group of words and I am on line number 3. And you are on the second word of the first line. This is how you increase your reading. So you are actually not working on the number of words to read faster. It's about changing the approach. Yeah. Reading is a wrong word. ऐसा word होना ही नहीं चाहिए था. It's imagination, visualization. But the problem is, the tiger is running. ये line आपके book में है. Did you imagine now? Easy to imagine. But problem कहाँ आता है? Consider a word, line like, determination and patience is the key to business success. कुछ घंटा हुआ? Complete blank. यहाँ पे क्या करोगे? How to visualize abstract things. उसका skill that I have developed. I took 8 months to undo my old habit of focusing on those boring symbols on the white paper and directly imagine the meanings and concepts of these words. अभी इस line को कैसे देखूंगा मैं? Ambani and Ratan Tata standing with proudly with chest broad. That's all. वो individual गया words सब. Are you getting my point? So I don't read, I watch movies and hence I don't doze off. Because you don't doze off while watching the movies or while screening those reels on Instagram. Because your brain is naturally wired to watch those videos. So we have to convert this reading into videos. And it's easy. You don't have to be on computer. You have to paint a picture on your mental canvas. So thanks to David Butler, who is my guru. I read many books on speed reading. Most of them did not work for me. But this technique worked. This technique nahi, just changing the approach. So David Butler has written a book, you can note it down, Speed Read with the Right Brain. Now you understand why right brain? Left brain is about logic, analytics, numbers, words. Right brain is about imagination, conceptualization, visualization. So reading is actually right brain activity, but we are using as a left brain activity. Okay, I'm coming to the course. hopefully in next few months.
We are running short of time.
All right.
Oh.
Thank you. We will. Anyone who has more questions, Amrut is available here.
I'll be here
outside.
for next few
You
hours.
can go meet him, ask him questions.
Yes.
Just one question can we
thank-
take? Just one
we
question.
are already out of time.
Running
for the
short?
next-
Okay.
so yeah, we'll continue.
I'm here, don't worry.
Yeah,
We
he's
can
here.
talk one to one. And there is one condition. If you want a picture with me, you have to read 2 pages tonight before going to bed. One hour picture delete हो जाएगा mobile से. Okay? And my book is available here. I'm carrying good number of copies of this book. Speed reading, memory techniques, सब इस पे लिखा है. And I'll also share the QR code if you want to buy. So thank you so much. Happy reading. Bye bye.
That was
As a token
really
of appreciation, as a token of appreciation from Vidarbha Lit Fest, I would like to invite Dr. Ali Akbar Mehmoon, who is one of our moderators, to hand over this memento to Amrut Deshmukh. And we also have some goodies for our lovely, lovely moderators. Thank you for this engaging session. Thank you, Asha ma'am. Thank you, Sonali ma'am.
And I still share book summaries on WhatsApp. Just last few seconds. I still share book summaries on WhatsApp. Booklet app to hai. You can quickly note down my WhatsApp number and we'll be in touch. Treat me as your reading partner, reading friend. It's 9594 7000777. I repeat, 9594 7000777. 9594 7000777. Message karo, miss call mat do. Okay, happy reading. Bye bye.